Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and as promised, finally this figure showed up in the mail. It was delayed over a week going through the post office system, whatever the reason why, I don't know, but this time we have an S-Hero. The company is called S-Hero, which I don't know much about it. There's their logo right here, and they're making the Justice League animated figures. They started with the Superman. They call him the superhero because they can't use Superman's name, so they call it a superhero. It's a 1 in 6 scale collectible, which I've been waiting for this because I am a huge fan of the Justice League animated series. So I was waiting to look to book this one and unbox it and review it and see how it looks. I used to have the statues, and I moved on from statues to figures, as you guys know, the 1/6 scale stuff, and then they finally started making these, so now I can have, hopefully we'll see the whole Justice League. Right now they're making Wonder Woman, and they're making two Batmans, the one with the gray and black costume and the gray and blue costume from the animated series plus the Justice League series. So we're going to take a look at them once they come in. But in this case we have Superhero, which is Superman. We have a silhouette of the figure, I guess, but I don't know if it's just a drawing of what Superman looks like. We got superhero letters here with the diamond for Superman. We can't see the S or anything because, you know, again, copyrighted material. The back is just white. I guess it doesn't matter, it's just the back, but yeah, I'm surprised they're just white. I haven't seen the white background ever, I don't think. So we got the diamond on the bottom too, and then of course, like always, this will open up, and I have not taken a look at it, so I have no idea what to expect. And here's our Superman figure. I'm telling you, this 6 scale figure is pretty big for Superman. On this they have 2 capes that we're gonna go through them in a second, and then we got the clamshell. And guys, just to let you know, I don't know if it matters or anything, but I guess on the shop, the machine shop, they're using this piece of shaving, metal shaving, was inside the bottom of the box. Weird. Just weird. It's metal shaving. So I guess this just happened to me. I don't know if anybody will have the same issue. Let me know, but just be careful. This metal shaving, it does not belong to a figure that is plastic. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Okay, there was some tape on each side of the box itself, so I had to untape that. And then here we go. We got the figure right here of Superman. It's got like a good weight to it. It's not as plasticky, you know, as action figures will be. This is a 6 scale, but so far, so good. I'm liking it. The holes right here, don't you worry about the moment. There's the cape is gonna fit in there, and then you can move this up so it'll hide that. It looks ugly at the moment, but we're gonna mess with that and see if we can make it look better. But yeah, this is our Superman figure. All right, let's put everything on the table and take a look at everything it comes with. Okay guys, and here we go. This is everything that you can find in the box when you open it. And just going back to the metal shaving, now I get it, because we have a flight pose, which of course is a metal rod. We have seen this before on other previous Supermans and Spider-Mans and stuff with the bendy style rod. So that way you can have him as on a flight pose. The base, well, let's the crotch grabber, it's got a the waist grabber, it's got a little clamp to it, and this is metal. It's been coated. No, it's just metal painted, so be careful with that. Hopefully it's not strong enough to damage the figure, I don't think, but it does have a little screw there, so you can actually just go ahead and tighten them up probably, so that way it won't be moving too much. There's no crotch grabber in this case. It would be nice to have one, but we didn't get any. And then on the base itself, we have Superman on the front. It's a printout, a paper printout. There is a protection paper on the front, so if you see that plastic, you'll see there. I'm not gonna take that off yet. And then on the front too is a printout on like a cardboard looking plastic, maybe paper, and the Daily Planet from the animated series. And then of course you have there the Metis shaving that we were talking about, so it came from there, from the machining shop. So be careful there. We're gonna take that off of there so we won't get cut. And then on the bottom side is just screws that have nothing. Okay, let's take that off first before we continue. So yeah, as you can see, it's a very, very tiny metal shaving. Just be careful. Not only, you know, possible that you might get cut, but also, you know, the costume being fabric, spandex style, so it might mess up your costume itself. So just be careful. Just make sure you throw those away. Okay, continuing with the accessories itself, we have an array of hands. He already comes with this fist, left and right fist hands already attached to the body. We have a set of a pair of in-flight hands, left and right hand, right there. I like these. And they're not straight. If you can look at it, they are like at the tip of the fingers are going up. So that's awesome. We got that pair of hands. We don't usually see any more pairs of hands. The paint job on the hands matches the face and the body. We have a pair of grabbing hands. You mentioned, you might be wondering why grabbing. It's because we got an accessory he should be grabbing as well, because we got only one accessory that comes with him. I mean, it's Superman. What else do you want him to come with? Other maybe kryptonite? I don't know. We have one open palm hand. Wish we have two of those. But we have the one, just the one. It's not neatly sculpted. You can see the bones and stuff in there, so it's pretty good. I mean, it's not just your regular, just smooth hand. At least it got some kind of mold into it. And then thumbs up. Alrighty, moving on to that, we have a pair of boots that will attach to the feet itself, because I guess the boots don't have any articulations, so you have the flight one, the flight post, so you have to change the whole thing. That'll keep it away from having to have a split cut, or maybe have an issue with the boots, you know, messing up while you're moving it. This is molded plastic, so it does not have any kind of bending. So you will have either the stand-up shoes or boots, or the flying one. And we have to make sure that we have them on the right foot. I think that's the way it goes. On terms of accessories, we also have the two heads. We have the first head. It comes already attached with Superman, which is kind of like you know, just staring glance. It's got like a little bit of a smirk to it. I mean, not much to it. It looks really good. I like it. That's one of the heads that comes with. Then we have one that is actually a smiling one. They both have the little curly hair at the front, just like the animated series. And then we have the stern, angry face to it. So at least we get a couple of options, you know, for the accessories. On the accessories itself, you have this piece of metal beam, which of course is plastic, it's not metal, but he's been bending, and yeah, there's no movement or anything. It's just hard plastic. It's very detailed, and it looks the same on one. You see the rivets in there and the bolts, the bending on there, and on the back side it's pretty much almost the same. I guess it's just not to be confused which way. So no matter which way you're looking at it, it looks the same. That's a pretty neat accessory to have. And then the reason why we're talking about there's two capes, because you have the first cape which is a drape cape, which is, this is your cape right here. It's got the stitching over there to make it have some, like it's coming out of here, you know, with stitching. So, but it just drapes down. Very thin material, very nice. I like the feel of it. And it's, on camera it looks very red, but in person it's a little darker red. Maybe we can adjust that on editing and see if I can match it to what I'm seeing. And then on this one, we have the other cape, which is the hero cape, or the, you know, action cape, which has 2 wires on each end of each side of the cape itself. So you can pose it, and you can make a flight stands or wind, and so you have both options. Both of them, they're pretty similar at the end right there. Just goes in the holes that we were talking about, and that's where it's gonna fit in. This it has no metal or anything, so let's see how hard we can push it. And then it's been, I guess, burned, seared, or whatever the word is, so the stitching won't come off. We'll see how long it'll last. I mean, once we put them in, I mean, there's not much we're going to be doing to it. But yeah, and going back to the figure itself, here's your Superman. That's the holes we were talking about. The cape is going to fit in. We got the S is raised up. It looks like it's like a plasticky, no, I mean like a rubbery piece in there. You can see that it's being raised up, so I guess it's been, I don't know, iron in. I'm not really sure, you know, if it's glued or iron in there. You know, we're not going to be washing it or anything, so there's not going to be any risk of falling off. You have the belt, which is also rubbery, so give a little give on it. It's not plastic, it's just rubber. Goes all the way around. And that's where the seam is, or been glued to. Oh no, nope, it's clipped on there. I don't know if it's gonna be a Velcro now. They don't look like it's Velcro. I don't want to mess with it, but it looks like it's been glued there. I don't know if you can see it. Of course, the underwear, the clothes is very similar to what the Superman from Christopher Reeve movie was, the 70s Superman. It is this fabric, stretchy fabric. And then, of course, the other pair of boots, which is just molded plastic. There's no articulation at all in there. For the Superman itself, we can go up to here. And then on arms, up to there, they'll come out, so that way you can actually do a flight pose. Since it has a lot of molded muscles, you know, we'll have to mess with the suit once you put it on flight pose or whatever position you want to put your Superman on. I like the heroes pose most of the time. It keeps the clothes from messing up, but this being stretchy spandex, I don't think we're gonna have an issue over time. I don't know. It's different from the Henry Cavill Man of Steel Superman, which was kind of like a fabric, rubbery type, kind of like Spider-Man stuff. This is just stretchy spandex, so I don't think we're going to have any issues of the clothes messed up. But you can see the rib cage underneath it. You can see the muscles on the chest. There is a bend right here, so you can make them as a flight post. So a small ratchet over here, and then of course, you know, and then of course the head just being a separate head like you saw in here. We have, you know, 360 rotation, and we got a little bit of up and down. Up is amazing, and the way it's done, I guess, I don't know if it's the neck or the thickness of the neck. It looks really good. It really does not bother the seam being there. But it's really, really good. I'm gonna put the cape on. We're gonna put them on the stand, but I'm not gonna, well, I might use that. I'm not sure. Because this is the problem that I have with these. In this case, it won't slide down. The little attachment, that you put here. This is the way you will put your figure in, right there. And this is the problem. It does not slide down like some of the Hot Toys and stuff that you have. So in this case, it will be standing up. You can see the difference between the figure and Superman. So it will be holding over here, so for a flight stand. But if you want to, you know, stand it up, you will have to have it like bent, and you know, maybe like that, and have him standing up, or this facing that way, so you can have him. So I don't know, this don't slide down. So, and it looks like he's gonna be pretty much stable, so we won't have probably a need for a stand, because it's pretty much standing on his own. So we'll see what happens. But I do have those stands that you can buy on eBay. They have no nameplate or nothing as crotch grabber, so that, you know, you can have him so he won't fall off. Depends where you have him placed on. So yeah, let's do some posing and see what we think of the figure. Okay, right quick, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing, I'm getting the cape that's don't have no wires on it, but when you look at the seam there, the little plug-in, a little cut. Let me focus. So what you do is you get your cape and you want to slide it in there like that, and then later on we'll just move it over and hide the seam. That way it looks like the cape is going down there, which is, you know, I don't know if there would be any other way to do this, but that's the way they chose. So we're gonna do this side. This side is off camera, was giving me a little bit of problems because I think it's, you see how it's bent in because of the burn. This is hard. I can bend it back. I don't know if you can. Let me see if you can see it right there. So it's been seared in, burned in. So it's kind of hard to just try to get that in there. So we're gonna try. Okay, let's see if you can tell here, guys. I pushed it in. There's a piece. I don't know if you can see it there. It's not letting me go in. This is a little softer plastic. It gives in some. If you look at it, when you press in a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push it in and see if I can get that tucked in. See how it gives in when I push in? At least they did that so it won't mess up the body. There you go. I push it in and it went in. It kind of is going to help it lock onto it, but I wanted to get the cape a little bit in some more. There you go. And it fits perfectly. So yeah, it's soft plastic up here, which is awesome. Okay guys, and here's our Superman from the animated series. I didn't do anything to him. I just stand him straight up, just like he came from the factory itself. And we attached the cape to him, and that's all I did. Put him straight up. He looks very he looks really good. I'm really liking this, and it's more from the animated series than the Justice League. There's a little bit of difference between the Justice League one and the animated series. In this case, the boots are very bright red, as you can see, and the rest of the costume is like a darker red. Like I was trying to tell you earlier, that it was coming through the camera, kind of bright red on the cape, but it wasn't. But the boots do match the S on his chest with the yellow. The belt matched the yellow on the S. The belt is a little bit darker than the part of the shield, and then the trunks or underwear matches the cape. So it's kind of like you can see a little bit off there. I don't know. It's supposed to all have probably the same color. I'm going to put a picture of our Superman on screen from the animated series, but that's what it is. And I left the cape that just drapes, no wires or nothing on it. That's the way he goes. And but yeah, that's your Superman. You can see that he's standing on its own. The problem with the boots being rubber and that having a cardboard piece or a plastic, whatever, printout, if you're going to leave them like that, and if you're in a humid or heat environment, eventually the boots will bleed into the picture. So just make sure, be aware of that. This is from the back. I'm loving the tailoring of the cape and everything. It's those little seams over here makes it drape really, really nicely. Right there. And then now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to do a flight pose so we can try this this flight mode. And well, before we get into that, let me get the beam. We're gonna attach him, attach his hands, and then we're gonna have the beam. He's breaking the beam. We're gonna change the face of it before we do the flight pose. That way we don't have to, you know, take the stuff twice. So we're gonna do this pose first and see what it looks like. Just to let you know, the head again is just an egg with the ball in there, and then you have your other head, which you're gonna attach to it like that, and then it goes in, and that's how it goes. On this particular face, he's got the red eyes, so he's getting mad. He's gonna laser vision somebody. So yeah, this is what we're gonna try on. And one thing I realized I wanted to mention is this particular Superman. Look at the hand itself. Instead of having like the little pin ball, whatever the Hot Toys and everybody else does, it has that extra lip there, which it makes it really, really hard to take the hands off of the body and put them back in. It took me a lot of pressure just to get that off. So just be careful. And we don't have no extra wrist pegs at all. So if something wrong were to happen, this kind of wrist pegs, I guess we'll have to find them from them. I don't know if you can find them on the third market. Also, guys, to mention, this is the hand fixture, I guess you want to call it. That's where you can see where he's grabbing with his fingers in there. So that way you don't know which way he goes this way. So he will be grabbing the beam there, and you can see where he indentation of his hands. So that way this won't fall off. Okay, and here we go, guys. I put the beam, the bending beam on his hand. I changed the face. You can see that I opened his legs a little bit more, and even with the weight of the beam itself, he's not tilting over. But you can tell where the hand is supposed to fit at in the beam itself, and then his angry face. I didn't raise it up because then you won't be able to see his face. If I raised it up like that, then you won't be able to see Superman's face on it. But yes, and there's only one way to fit, so you can't go wrong with it. And as you can see, I have no stand on him or nothing, and then he's pretty much standing on his own accord. But that's a nice feature to have. You can lower it or raise it up, whichever one you want, and to see better. Now we're going to try this flight pose. Okay, also in terms of the boots, I was trying to change the boots, and just wanted to show you this is a similar connector over there, but a little easier for them to fit down there. So I think it's gonna be a little easier just to apply the boot, just because it's molded plastic, so there's no risk of it going anywhere other than just straight up into the body. And yep, it clicks right in, guys. I put just make sure which foot is which foot. So that's your left foot, and just make sure you just apply it, push up. This one has like a little bend in there, but just apply it there and push up, and it'll click in, and there it goes. That's your foot. Okay, guys, and this is a flight pose. I had to zoom out a little bit out of the frame of my background just to let you know. We changed the boots. We put the straight down feet. I left put the fist on this hand, just acting like it's flying up, and then the flight hand going up this way, and that's how you can see it. I did change the cape. This is your flight cape, so you can give it a little flare out like the wind, or straight down. And then we're gonna try the same pose, but going actually sideways, see if it holds up. Okay guys, and this is our sideways flight pose. On this particular one, since the clamp, was very loose on purpose, we showed it earlier, there was a screw. So you can actually see, let me see if I can show it to you. There's a little screw at the front right there that if you tighten it up, it will hold your Superman figure without having to drop it. So, you can tighten up. And then also you can adjust it since it's there. It's the dynamic flight pose. You just put your Superman going up and down like that. So it's actually really neat that you can have him on a flight pose, maybe like that if you decide to do it. And then we did change the face too. I put the other face kind of like smiling a little bit, being happy. But yeah, I like it. Just make sure when you bend it that you're not messing up the screw connector over down here at the bottom. And there he goes. That's the Superman. Okay guys, and here's our last Superman pose for the moment. I brought the base down where the holder down. I bent it a little bit right there at the bottom to make him go down a little bit more so it won't be way up in the air. I loosen up a little bit of the screws, that way it won't clamp too much on them. Changed the cape, acting like if there's a little wind going this way. I put his thumbs up and his smiling face, and there he goes. Let's review this too. Just make sure always go up on the suit to hide a little bit of the seam where the cape is attached to it. And that's the Superman. Other than the colors that I see at the moment, that is throwing me off a little bit. If you pay too much attention to it, the boots should be maybe either a little darker or the cape and stuff should be a little lighter. I think in the animated series he was a little lighter than that. But other than that, I think this figure is awesome and it is cheap. It's a third party. It's a company called S-Hero. I don't know nothing about them. Like we said at the beginning of the video, they're making the two Batmans with the gray and black suit and the blue and gray, and then a Wonder Woman as well. So maybe they get into the Justice League, and this one was announced not too long ago, and it was released kind of super fast, maybe less than 6 months, I think it was, or so. And yeah, and we got him here. For a third-party figure, this is amazing, and I think the suit is going to hold up pretty good. We'll take a look at the colors in a second. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow my channel, subscribe, so that way you know when I'm going live with another video, when I post another video, another review. I'm gonna keep trying to get videos out there for you. Everything's been delayed, but now it's coming out at one time, so hopefully we'll be able to get all the figures that we pre-order and then do a review on it. I do recommend to get this figure. It's very good, well done. I like it. I can't see many flaws with it, other than, the flight stand. I wish the base, we have another base, but, it's a third party. You already gave us a couple of accessories with the Superman, so we can't really complain too much for the price and the quality of it, because even the stitching is holding up. And unlike the Superman from Superman and Lois TV show with the stitching on the back, it's kind of very, very big and ugly. Luckily, it's on the bag and you got the cape anyway. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know if you are planning on getting this figure. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.